Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. I have a special message for all the empaths, introverts, old souls, seekers, light workers, everyone who will resonate with it. My friends, most probably the world tried to tell you that there's something wrong with you. Are you a highly sensitive person, emotional, and you feel like so much is wrong in the world, but at the same time you don't know how to function in this system, how to work with that, all the shifts that are happening, you don't know how to deal with all of that, and you sense all the energy, you sense the emotions, you are vulnerable. And most probably in the past there were narcissistic people present in your life who used your vulnerability, and that was the reason that you've closed yourself down, and now you think that everybody just is trying to use you and so on. My friends, firstly I want to tell you I love you all. Those are not easy things to deal with, but at the same time there's a huge superpower only you have within, and that superpower is something we call an empathy, a strong connection with intuition, a miracle we call imagination, a strong awareness over your inner stillness, and much greater understanding of who you are. And I would give the last one, and the last truly great superpower is a vision that you have. You have a vision for the world. You have a vision for yourself, like who you are supposed to be. You have a vision for the world, what this world's supposed to be. You have that strong connection with Earth, and you just feel what could be the greatest expression of all of that, right? And deep in that nonsense of how we should be and what's wrong with you, and everything you've learned about suppressing emotions, which we've become really good at it, something within you is telling you that there's so much wrong with how we've been taught to live our lives. And because at the same time we don't know how to be different, we're kind of working with that, and we've kind of surrendered to that system, and we've kind of suppressed everything because we just don't know how to be different. Is that you? Because maybe you think that you will be hurt again if you will open your heart and express your vulnerability. The truth is that there's so many those kind of people present in your life, so many empaths, so many emotional people, so many heart open people present in your life, but most of them are living heart closed. Most of them are living truly suppressed, because we've been all taught to live our lives that way. And of course it's nature, we don't want to be hurt, so we rather suppress everything we feel, and we act like we are tough. We are really, really tough. We are like, look at me, I can work out, I can put some muscles on, I can do something that will look on the outlook like how amazing I am, to impress you, right? We can do all of that, but it will not bring us any closer to the fulfillment we all know that is coming from simplicity, that is coming from honesty and openness. So we go into nature and we learn from the stillness of the trees that you don't need to prove yourself to anyone to be okay with yourself, right? You don't need to seek any outside of external validation to be happy with who you are. And that's where we find out that all we truly need is just to embrace who we are. And in order to embrace who we are, we need to know ourselves, right? So a great reminder is to learn to know yourself. And once you learn to know yourself, embrace yourself. Truly acknowledge, okay, this is who I am. This is how I am. I don't need to change myself for anyone. I don't need to change myself for anyone. Doesn't matter how many people will tell me that there's something wrong with me. Well, who cares? Who cares if there's something wrong with me? What part of you can say to me what's wrong with me? There's clearly something weird about it, right? What part of you can say what's wrong with me? Well, because there's something wrong with that part of you that is saying that there's something wrong with me, right? But most people truly grab this idea, so yes, there's clearly something wrong with me. And they start pulling themselves down and sabotaging, and they close themselves. And then they are afraid to go into, they're afraid of expressing themselves because people may be laughing at them. Do you feel that? Because I felt that in the past. I felt like, I need to be tough. I'm coming from extreme sports. I went through all of that. I've tried to be tough. I was, doing all kinds of things to show my worth. But I was never truly, I never truly experienced that worthiness until I found out that I don't need to prove myself to anyone, and suddenly I felt infinitely worthy. Suddenly I felt like I'm completely okay. So, my friends, the only worthiness you will ever need to experience is the acceptance of yourself, of all of yourself. Once you accept all of yourself, well, I am emotional, and that's beautiful. Emotions are beautiful. Emotions are making us human. People which are acting emotionless made all those wounds that we're now healing. And the reason for that is because they were the most hurt. But they said, well, I'm tough, and they've pushed through it. And then they've never learned to understand the power of emotions. So that's why we are now healing this wound, so we can bring also that emotional aspect to all that system and everything that's going on. So I want to remind you, my friends, that as you've noticed that there's something huge missing in this world. Something huge is missing in this system, matrix we are living in. And what is actually missing here is you, your true self. That's what is missing. Because, everything was kinda led by that masculine power of hard work, of pushing through anything no matter what, moving things, creating results no matter what, so we can show the results and show up how great we are. But then there's a thing we call mental health, like how far we can actually bring the boundaries of the mental health. And then there's an emotional intelligence, which is kind of explaining to us that we can do so many great things with so many wrong reasons, and results may be unknown until we experience them, like breakdowns and burnouts and things like that. And then we have empaths. What are empaths? Emotional people, right? Highly sensitive people, which came to this earth, and they are bringing a powerful gift of emotional awareness. And we got there completely lost, like what's going on out here, why they are so lost, why they're so distracted with the nonsense. And as soon as empaths started, we go through that aging process. We are functioning completely regularly. All kids are emotionally open, vulnerable, and honest with each other. Kids support each other no matter what. But at some point, we come across people who are also emotional, but they've experienced such a strong hurt that they've closed themselves so much that when they communicate with empaths, they start laughing at them, that there's something wrong with them because they're emotional. So they start using their vulnerability against them. And we call them narcissists. Have you come across a narcissist and you've noticed that there's a weird energetic bond connecting you because you're actually similar souls? All narcissists are actually strong empaths who've learned to suppress their gifts because they were hurt in the past. So I see on the internet right now, everybody's talking about narcissists, and they're all talking about it like, again, there's something wrong with them. All they need is love, my friends. And it's hard to give love if you need love, right? So we firstly need to give love to yourself, and you need to connect with people with whom you can share some of that love and compassion and understanding. So to all of you, my friends, empaths, old souls, light workers, connect with people whom you can trust, with whom you can be vulnerable, with whom you can get into that soul level conversations, so you can recharge your batteries which were drained out by the world, by the society. Because that's what is building up new pillars on which we are building and creating new systems, new world, new way of functioning. Because, we need to build a certain discipline so we can, firstly we take care of our responsibilities, but then we learn to actually build that emotional intelligence so we can put things into motion and we can start actually developing our gifts and talents. So we can bring another pillar to this system that is falling apart right now. Because what is happening is everything was driven by that masculine power, working hard, doesn't matter what, you will sleep when you die and things like that. And then we're now bringing another aspect to it. Like, you see science right now around sleep is coming up with so much of new knowledge. Then science behind the psychology is coming up with so much of new knowledge. And neuroscience then, which is bringing us a new understanding of emotions and fear and how important it is to deal with suppressed traumas from the past, so we can release all of our energy and we can balance ourselves once again. That's all coming up because something new is being born right now. And the thing is that those things will not change your life. Those things can help you to navigate your life, to find your power and authenticity in this process, so you can embrace it, so you can embrace yourself and bring all of yourself to this process and fully embody who you truly are, so you can become your own light and provide what you have to provide, so that other aspect which was ignored before can become stronger. So people are waiting what will happen out of this chaos and phase of transformation we are moving through. But what will happen is what will create, right? So if we just wait, we'll not improve much. If we just wait, we'll not create much. And if we just wait, we will wait forever. And suddenly we'll again come across something we don't like, and again there will be a great chaos. So the only solution to what is happening right now truly is to you to get back to you and connect with people who are like you and unite your powers of honesty, vulnerability, and emotional intelligence, because that's what we need, my friends. So we need more people like you, because you're the most gifted. As I mentioned before, the miracle of your imagination. Most probably when you were little, you were lost in your own world. Maybe you didn't like how external world looks like, so you were lost in your own world. And when you got older, you're still lost in your world, but because your world was now influenced by so much that happened around you, that even your world is now a bit poisoned. So we need to declutter that poison from our worlds so we can see it clearly once again, so we can start expressing it. That's what artists are doing. How many artists are there? Introverts, complete introverts, but they decide to express themselves. I am introvert, I'm an empath, and I've decided to express myself. Everybody can decide it, and it's not an easy decision, but that's how you become an example that you can be a dreamer, you can be lost in your world, but still at the same time you can bring a part of your world to this world, and let's see if we can connect the dots. Let's see if we can build a bridge between this world and this world. Let's see if we can unite the powers. Let's see where those bridges will take us. Let's see what else can we create. Power of your imagination. Never forget that. Because introverts are really, really good with imagination. You're a great artist. If you are creating art or not, you're a great artist. Then intuition. You're more connected with intuition than anybody else. Use your intuition for guidance. It's a divine compass, my friends. And, empathy, that's what is helping us to heal each other. Sensing the pain of one another so we can heal one another. Of course, if you go to places where there's a lot of dense, heavy energy, you will say, well, it's like, I truly don't like this empathy. That's where you need to become aware of your social battery. Well, if you need to recharge yourself, go and recharge yourself. Become aware of your social battery and say no when you need to say no. Set boundaries. Well, this is my life. If I need to go home, I will go home. There's nothing wrong with you. You have your own needs. Respect your own needs and be brave enough to follow them no matter what. That's where we need to use some of this masculine awareness. I will follow my needs no matter what. I will set my boundaries no matter what. I will say no if I feel that I need to say no matter what. So you see, it's all about balance. Some people say, well, it's so bad how the system is working. It's partially bad, but partially good. What is bad, we can change it for what we know and what we feel within, that we need to learn to express. But what is good, we can use to develop our own abilities. So everything is good and bad, if we look on it that way. So we can use what's good, and we can change what's bad, and we'll create balance, right? So my friends, I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. I hope you've enjoyed in those beautiful colors of a nature transitioning into autumn. And we have, the nature is going from green into yellow, orange, and red, which is reminding us of that emotional chart. We have those heart emotions of love, care, understanding, compassion, which is like on this heart area, if we go through the colors of chakras. But then we go lower into yellow and orange and red, which is kind of reminding us also to go into the slower, dimensions of emotions, and to see if there's something suppressed that just needs to be released. Because a release of any emotion can happen only when you become aware of it. You observe it and it will be released. And sometimes we need to be really consistent with that work. Sometimes it may go through years and years of practices because we've been suppressing them for years and years and years, and it goes through generations and generations. And in our DNA we have information of our ancestors, so if there was so much of suppressed energy, it's completely natural that you need to stay consistent with that healing. But so much is being released every time you become aware of your emotions without judging them, without blaming anyone or anything for it. You just observe yourself and you release it. You let it go, and suddenly you feel much more free. So my friends, once again, this is it for today. Have a beautiful celebration of tomorrow's full moon. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about it. What kind of energy you feel right now? Let's connect in the comment section. Until next time, one love.